Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Give me 1 second. Good morning. I'm not able to add folks for some reason. But y'all know who the crew is. Please get them here. Good morning. I don't have any of my equipment, so I'm just making it do what it does right now. Amen. Good morning. Someone please tag Carmen White Janak, Janak. Good morning. 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 It's traffic moving. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We got a live studio audience today. Good morning. Let me go over here for a sec and greet you all. Hello. Now, folks might be already in their spaces. But good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Tiffany, Tisa, Peanut, Erica. Good morning. Good morning. It just says Facebook user. Oh, I'm so close to the phone. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a sec to just get a little stabilized. Just coming back from in town. Sorry, something went wrong. Hold on, y'all. Let's get ourselves together. Something went wrong on Facebook House, so okay, let's go here. Go ahead and click like and share. I snuck up on here this morning. I really didn't tell anyone that I was coming. As we were supposed to be. Something is really off, y'all. Maybe it's saying I should have followed my senses. Okay, let's go. 1 second. Ooh, child, it's gonna be one. All right, here we go. Let me just tag a few folks. Hold on, y'all. Somebody tag Antonia for me. Got it. Okay. Hey y'all. Hey everybody. This pop up here. One more person I want to get. I don't want to get in trouble for folks not knowing. To those of you who are new here, this is usually more polished. I just woke up literally and felt like I wanted to come and share with you, with us, Ashe. And my stuff is going to keep falling because I'm on location and I don't have any of the equipment that I'm used to because I've been on travel for a week. Ashe, amen. My Holy Week consisted of recognizing myself as holy, recognizing my temple as holy, and needing to fall back and to feel the ways that it has been crucified, if you will. Crucified, experiencing, allowing myself to acknowledge and experience those 7 last sayings of the cross on top of, good morning, everyone who's coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. On top of needing a moment. Holy Week is probably the most busiest season for any Christian minister. That begins with back to Lent and walking with people, journeying with Jesus, with the hope, the attempt that one would be able to see their mortality more clearly. And so some have celebrated that mortality by, fasting and staying away from certain things. And others have said, I choose to forget to remember certain things that have not been helpful for my future or my present. And while still others said, I'm just going to take I am going to be more present, Ashe. I took a little bit more radical step and said, I'm going to be because I believe that my status as a Black woman in the world and in specifically America is already a type of sacrifice. It is already a fast in place. It is already a moving through recognizing of my mortality. And so I started to turn the spotlight inward that didn't require me to give up one more thing so that I can be included in the Jesus bunch. That didn't require me to do one more thing, to say one more thing, to offer one more thing. It was not required. And so, can you hand me that for you, this bottle? And so when I'm just gonna switch something for a minute, y'all, so I can drink some water. Hold on a minute. Thank you. So when girl, it's all propped up, y'all. I had nothing. Thank you. So when I started getting closer and closer, I know that Holy Week, I'm going somewhere, just follow me. I know that Holy Week, good morning everyone whose name I have not said, was the week that I needed to fall all the way back. And also because it was the anniversary of my birth, that I didn't have to give up the anniversary that marks my entrance into this side of consciousness because of Holy Week. I didn't, there was no need for that. That our children didn't have to not celebrate their spring break because I needed to work. This is not a hit towards anyone. I'm just saying what I was thinking about. Sort of that there is the capitalistic grind that is also in our churches. I hope you know that this sort of I gotta grind it out is also in the way that we engage in the way that we do our work. And so I left, and we left, and we just got back in. You still hear the frogginess in my voice. And yet I also understand the importance of types of traditions for folk. I also understand the importance of needing to hit reset for folk. I also understand the need to do that in community. Amen. I acknowledge that The need to do that in community, in community. And so I'm here in community with all of my fringe folk. I'm here with all of my outliers. I'm here for us. And what I wanted to meditate briefly, because I mean to go back and get in the bed and get this good relaxation, Ashe, before it all starts up over again. I want to raise up. I have a preference for the Lucan text on Resurrection Sunday. And so I just want to raise this up, and I invite you to listen for a word from the Lord. But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they came to the tomb. Taking the spices that they had prepared, they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. But when they went in, they did not find the body. And while they were there, and while they were perplexed about this, suddenly 2 men in dazzling clothes stood beside them. The women were terrified and bowed their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen." Remember how he told you while he was still in Galilee that the Son of Man must be handed over to sinners and be crucified, and on the third day rise again. And then they remembered his words, and returning from him, the tomb, they told all this to the 11 and to all the rest. Now it was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the other women with them who told the apostles. But these words seemed to them an idle tale, and they did not believe them. But Peter got up. I'm reading from a different translation, y'all, I'm sorry. But Peter got up and ran to the tomb, stooping and looking in, and he saw the linen clothes. If there was a title to this, I imagine that it would be, I think I asked the question, when will you produce? But the real question is, are you ready to produce? That's the real question. And I'm just gonna slow talk this through. You're not getting ready to get no heaving, hollering, howling. I'm not there. I just want to talk with you, raise some questions, have a conversation. Ashe. We're glad to see you, Dana. So let's go back to the text. It's the first day of the week. It's today. And early, they came to the tomb, taking the spices that were prepared. Let's make this personal. Have you ever had someone who was real close to you? Not necessarily your parents, but maybe a guide, maybe a mentor, maybe someone you just took to, someone whom you met and they just introduced you to a new way of thinking. They provided you freedom to assess. They encouraged you in gains and absolutely kind of got you back in line when you stepped out. Just a new way, a different space, a different kind of freedom. I'm talking about you have someone, or you are a part of a community, Mel Christopher, and you recognize, wow, that's what it is. I found my people. Is there anybody who could say, yeah? That's me. I found my people. I found my people. Yeah, I found my people. And you just feel so excited about finding your people, that you all in. It's kind of like, well, no, you're just all in because you found your tribe. This is the setting, I'd like to say, for this text, that the women who are going to do the ritual of preparing their body had found their tribe. They had found space where it was okay for them to sit with their backs arched straight. They had found a space. They had found a group where it was okay for them to respond to questions when asked, and not have to scour because of their position as women in their tribe. They found meaning. They found moment. They found momentum. I just need a few folks to tell me you understand what I'm getting. Have you found your people? Ashe, I see you. Yes. Yes, Dana. Yes, you found your people. Yes. Yes, Queen Terrace. Yes, Mel Chris. Yeah. And these people introduced you to to knowledge that you'd never really quite looked at. These people invited you into yourself, to unzip yourself. My God. They introduced you to the God in yourself. As Intezaki Shange says, that you begin to find God in yourself and to love her fiercely. And then Empire does what Empire always does, which is to become threatened when it can no longer control. Follow me, we going somewhere. When it can no longer control your movement. Because it recognizes the liberation that is happening for you. So not just Empire, but if you watch the Good Friday sermon, that also the institutions we cherish so dearly can mimic Empire so well until they become empires. That's why many of you have found community here. I'm just saying the truth. Because here, you don't have to pretend. I'm coming to this text. Here, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to only say, this is the only one thing I want to deal with. You can be yourself. You can be free. You can acknowledge God. Let me just say, yeah. And so the women, for them, they had found Jesus, a chosen one. Now I'm going to try to park lightly on your road, because I know this is a very serious holiday, right? It is the one on which, for many, the faith is hinged. So I'm not being facetious. It's an invitation. Here comes a chosen one, because there was more than the chosen one. But here comes a chosen one who understands his assignment is to disrupt any and all institutional ways of knowing and being, including his own religious institution, to disrupt, to bring in a new reignum that turns on its head the ways that the empire, the government, the religious organizations have been treating the least of these. And Jesus, who has known before even his public coming out, because you know what you know. Those of you who are called to do something, you know what it is already before the public knows, before your parents know. You know what you know. He knew when he skipped the line when they was coming back from celebrating Passover and they can't find him and he's somewhere over teaching in the synagogue at 13. He knew. And you then begin to ask yourself, what manner of person is this? I ask myself that about people. Like, what manner of woman was Harriet Tubman? What manner of woman was Sojourner Truth? Like, Mariah, so just risking your lives, just out here. Like, you made it to freedom and then you said, I gotta go back. What manner of person was Malcolm? What? Whoa, the heaviness. So here, throughout Luke and the other gospel texts, you read all of the actions that Jesus is doing. He's sending out the folk. He's healing people, breathing on them, touching on them, getting there too late, then calling their name and they waking up. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But this is for some people where they have found their freedom. And for these three women, they are in great mourning. I remember for one of my elders, Dr. Itihari Ture, when her elder and the person she walked with, Dr. Asa Hilliard, left this plane for the next. It is still a moment of pain. There's a way in which you found a community and you lose a key member of the community that you really can't wrap your head around it. You really can't grasp it. But these women are on their way. They are on their way to make sure, at least, that this person who has opened their eyes, that this person who has seen them, this person who has activated them, this person who has called them into being, this person who they'd watch heal, this person who they'd watch stand up to empire, this person that they watch flip over the tables, this person who they watch sit and eat with folk that even the larger community said, no, we don't eat with them, we don't sit with them. This person whom they watch stand up and speak out up against the religious leaders, the legal chiefs. This person they honored by going back to prepare the body. But when they get there, the body is not found. So they're confused because they know this is where the body was laid. And then these two men, which could be translated as angels or maybe spirits, these two men come before them, and the women were terrified because they'd never seen this before, and said to them, here's the Why do you look for the living among the dead? You've heard this 1,000 times. Why are you looking for life? They're confused because even though Jesus had been trying to prepare them for this part of the story, like Malcolm tried to prepare us that internally something was going on, and that the folks in the nation were trying to kill him and did. Even Martin gave us that message, that last message in Memphis, that he'd already seen the promise, trying to prepare. There's no way that you could ever truly be prepared. Why are you looking for the living among the dead? It's a personal and collective question, my God. I dare say that the women were routinized. It was a routine, my God, today, Jesus. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. That they had been routinized. It was a routine that they were following. That not just when Jesus died, but that when someone in their community died, that there were specific burial rituals that one performed. But why do you look for the living? Because the tomb is a part of the empire, my God, today. Hey, Jesus, help me. Help me. Help me. The tomb is a part of the empire, even though, right, the brother who purchased it because he wanted Jesus to have dignity in death. But he purchased it as it was a part of the system, right? What are you talking about, Malfa? What's going on? What's going on? The tomb represents the tradition of yes, his religion, but also the tradition of the empire, just as his lynching was a tradition of his empire. So if I am going using the rituals to prepare that I am familiar with, I'm no longer disrupting, then he could not be there because he came to disrupt empire. When they got there, the stone was already rolled away. Many biblical scholars, commentaries, stories, was Jesus stolen? Did somebody come steal? I don't know. And that's not my stake in the game. I just know he wasn't there. Was not my stake in the game, but I just know that he wasn't there. So they find the stone rolled away, and now they're concerned. See, when people come what is that in John? I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. When people come to exchange life with you, that you might live more abundantly, it is often not for permanency. It is often not for you to stick around. It is to activate you. It is to activate you so that you would then now go teach, do what was done for you. But they're scared because they don't know who has them. They are perplexed because this part of the story they didn't know about. So they bow down their faces to the ground. But the men say to them again, why are you looking for the living amongst the dead? Why are you trying to retrieve stuff that's already dead? Why are you showing up with your prepared rituals? Meaning rituals in the sense of, yes, these sort of habits that you learned over time, and this is what you're supposed to do. Why are you If you had believed, then you would already know that he ain't gonna be here. I'm just talking. And yet here's the thing. Your circumstances, our circumstances, much like the women's circumstances, desperately needed him to be there. And we needed him to be there because when we were introduced to him, it shifted everything. It shifted everything for us. When we were, for some of us, when we were introduced him the second and the third time. It reminded us that he taught us that we also have the capability, the capacity to have Christ consciousness. That's what he was teaching us to do. That you are also a Christ, that you also have this Christ consciousness, that what I've done, you also can do. This is just the activation. There's no secret. What God can do, what God has done for and through others is the same. So I imagine when they fell down and cried, these women, part of it was oh, where have you laid my Savior? But part of it was like, oh my goodness, now it's actually time to get working. And when you realize that the way that you came into knowing and being, that you have been activated now, and it is now time for you to take these lessons and share them and apply them to your life. It will bring to you a certain type of overwhelm because you're wondering, am I ready? This is not your typical Easter speech. Easter word. The empty tomb is intentional. It's futuristic. I've preached this before a couple years ago on this day. It's futuristic. So on one level, it is a part of the empire, and the other part of that is it's futuristic. Its emptiness represents our responsibility to produce a future. So the reason why we are excited on this Resurrection Sunday, yeah, we're excited because we go down with Christ and we raise with him and But the real reason is that the tomb is empty. That Jesus' mission could not be disruptive, could not be distracted by his own folks, those who said crucify him. It could not hold him. It cannot hold us either. The linens represent what was left over. He had to leave a mark. The linens are what we use now to imagine, to future ourselves. Come on in here, Jesus. Yeah, God, today. Hey, yee. Sheesh. Ronnie, you remember the first time we preached this? It's the text. Why do you look for the living among the dead? Because death becomes comfortable and we believe life is too hard to live. My God. Why do you look for the living amongst the dead? Because we know that the dead has lied to us. The dead is the living dead, if you will. There is no promise, God, there is no promise in the empire. There is no promise in the institution. I want to tell you that. I don't know what that makes me, Ronnie. Tell me what I am if I'm saying that. Why? How you gonna say that? Because I've watched people. Well, you know what? Respectfully, come on in here, AME Church. I just read an article. I never read it before. I hadn't even heard that there's this $90 million suit. I don't know if I guess it's against the church because of the pension fund has been misused. So if you've been preaching for 30 years and you were waiting on your pension because you want to retire, because you serve the Lord, where is it? Acting the same as some of those big corporations. Y'all remember Enron? What's their different move? This is the main reason why some of our historically black colleges and institutions have closed, because of mismanagement, usually heads of boards who are usually church men, and I said that intentionally, who have embezzled and has misused money. That is because they are the dead. Why are you looking for the living, friend? Why are you looking in the living within some of these connectional institutions that you have to bow down to and beg, Ashe, to be seen, only to have your theology checked, only to be greeted by church members who will not accept a woman in ministry? Come on, to the AME minister who then got her a pulpit, a little stand, and preached outside the church because she couldn't get into the church. Why are you looking, my God, today for the living? That's what I said. That's what I said. For the dead. Don't email me, don't at me, don't sub me, don't do anything. Just say Ashe. Just say Ashe. Ashe, why? This is what resurrection is about. This is what this Sunday is about. It is us having a Sankofa moment, looking back, right, to retrieve what was lost, like our morality. Oh my God. To be resurrected is not to dance and shout. He got up, he rose, I got up, we rose, hallelujah. Yeah. No. Resurrection is to get up literally out of the prone position of death. Jesus. My God today. My God today. It is to be raised to another level of consciousness so that you can now go. It's like the girls are running track right now. They run the 4x4, and some of the teams need to work on their pass off. So they've been practicing, some of the teams who run the 4x4 have been, I've seen our girls practicing the pass off. Because when you fumble pass off, it kind of takes time away from the race. Our issue is our pass off game ain't strong. And in our Sankofa moments, we spend too much time looking back. It is to look back to go back and get what was left behind. Are the dead alive? I've never met a dead person who was alive. They were dead. When you keep doing things the same old way because it's the same old way, you dead. When you keep putting your trust in situations and institutions that operate under the cover of darkness, they're dead. When you refuse to recognize that the tomb, one, is a part of empire, but even it is empty because Jesus would not allow, Jesus, God, whomever, would not allow himself to even die in empire. Or at least his body to stay there, right? Because he placed his hands into someone trustworthy, into a being, a spirit that was trustworthy. Dead. That's not a question for me. Dead. Why? Because I can't see the future that you're producing. Which leads us to the whole thing. And so, after he asked this question, the men tell the angels, the men tell the women, he is not here, but he is risen. Remember how he told you while he was still in Galilee, that the Son of Man must be handed over to the sinners and be crucified, and on the third day rise again. And then they remembered this word, and turning from the tomb, they remembered. It activated the teachings. They now remembered. They had to have a little shaking. They remembered this part of the story and ran to the tomb and and ran from the tomb and told all of the 11 that, he's not there. And so, but it was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary, mother of James, and the other women with them who told this to the apostles. So just a caveat that these were the first evangelists. These were the first preachers. Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary, the mother of James, and the other women. They are the first ones to go run and tell that we are the first to share, even though they didn't think it was good news, right? To share the good news that his body is not there. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying today. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying today. So down on verse 22, moreover, some women of our group astounded us, and they were at the tomb early this morning. And when they did not find his body there, they came back and told us that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who said that he was alive. And some of those were with us went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see him. Then he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, and how slow to heart to believe all that prophets have declared." Now this, they're going to tell the women, okay? How foolish. I need y'all to make these connections. I'm not going to go any further than that because I think the message is clear. The tomb is empty, and our charge is to produce the future if we are about Black reimagination, Black futures, even Black herstory or futuring, even just as a believer, if you say, well, I don't need all the Black on it, but even as a believer, your mission is to future, is to carry on, is to disrupt, is to call out. That's your purpose. You are not to be a meek and mild Christian who just, my faith is not politicized. Boo, your faith is politicized. Come on, Audrey Lord, the personal is always political. And we know that any kind of politic is about power. So the moment that you engage, step into a tradition, a system, a faith, a belief, there is already is a struggle for power. This is your call, your moment to determine what your next steps are now that you know that the tomb is a part of the empire, but yet the linens were left with you. What will you do with the linens? What are you getting ready to create? What are you getting ready to make? How are you getting ready to move? How are you getting ready to contact? Who are you getting ready to pass off this knowledge to? Make sure that your baton pass off is tight, is together, so that you don't slow up anyone. This is what it means to be resurrected. To be resurrected is to come into the newness of who you are. To be resurrected is to tap in to those same gifts that this empire has been meaning to have you tap out. And they want you to tap out so that you don't recognize the gift that you are, and so that you don't bring that gift to the community so that you can activate the community. They want you to work for them. They want you to, oh no, take this. We know that you're so great. Well, if you know that I'm so great, then sign me up as an independent consultant. They're not going to do that, baby, because they want you for them. Resurrection is not for you to be excited on one day and return to hell on the next day. You missing it. But I can't get no help over here. I can't. You got 20 years on your job, child. I know y'all be over there listening to Melva Sampson, talking that stuff. Y'all better get away from here. You got 20 years left for your good pension that you done waited for your good, your good job. I mean, you listen. Bless you, baby. Yeah, Yes, Kendra. Call out the dead. That's you. We just, we. I think maybe this is what it means to when Jesus, no, I'm not the Bible scholar. He freed somebody and then he said, go and do not be entangled in this bondage of sin again. And even Jesus was walking with them. After Jesus, they don't even know who's beside them because they are, so stuck in grief that they still can't even see that the power is right next to them, which means then if they have taken what is to be true, they have inhaled it. Now, what this doesn't mean is that you have dreams and your dream is to work in an institution. Ashe. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. But go into it with your eyes wide open. Even as you're doing the work, remember why Jesus had to overturn the tables in the temple. Because they were out of order, outlandish, making the sale of the sacrifice so high that the poor people couldn't even afford it. Check your institutions. And finally, resurrection is about freedom. Some of us have been dead for too long. Some of us have been dead for too long. I'm going to keep saying it. Some of us have been dead for too long. Ronnie, because the linens represent wealth. You do know that. He left us something. He left us wealth to work with, to distribute, to equally distribute. He left us something to work with, y'all. These linens got power in them. It's like that handkerchief that's in the family Bible, the handkerchief from one of the elders. The linens have the wealth in them, y'all. And they're not to be, what's that word I'm looking for? They're not to be hoarded. In the empty tomb is, the tomb represents empire. The inside of the empty tomb represents our future. How we produce the wealth. Not how we, Let me say it this way. I see Kendra on here. I see Lavon. Hey, Digideacon, Antonia, and Natasha. I see Pastor Anika. Because I'm getting ready to say something. I see Ronnie. Let me tell you this. We've created these institutions, these hush harbors, these both physical and digital. We've created these out of necessity. You think we just want to talk shit about these institutions? That's not it. That's not it at all. I'm not even a part of one, so that's not it. We create these, though, out of necessity. This is only part of what we're doing with our linens. I'm thinking about folks like Ash Love, who is demanding that folk who already had some kind of linens, who already had some, is calling the white, the wealthy, to give back that which was taken, so that we can declare, right? And it's also because these institutions aren't comfortable with our truths. We too this, we too that. We're not respectable enough. I'm talking about resurrection, y'all. Because we've been resurrected. We grasped this message a little while ago. That our resurrection could not be here. But that also what? We had to produce it. Wayne Taft producing. And so I'm going to give us maybe 10, maybe like a little 15-minute over on Zoom, because I really am going to be resting and chilling today. I'm Holy Week. I return to the holiness of myself, of my being. I'm grasping the linens, Because the best thing Jesus left for me is a future to imagine and to produce. Why is it okay for you to produce for every other person and being and situation or organization, but you can't produce for yourself? And for those of you who watch us produce, and for those of you, this is not for the people on here. This is for the after crowd and the, what they call that? The video record, the screen record people. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I'm having trouble today. The screen record people who, instead of producing, only mimic Empire again by screen recording this and every probably Vaughn and any other person so that you all can share and laugh in your screen records. But because I understand resurrection, what I really understand is going on is that it is your fear that continues or to allow you to sit with the dead and laugh with the dead. Meanwhile, while we are mourning, not just Jesus, but our teachers, while we mourn Baba Asa Hilliard, Baba Wunseki Fukiao, while we mourn Bell Hooks, while we mourn Katie Geneva Cannon, Tony Bambara, while we mourn James Howe Cone, while we mourn them, what we understand is they gave us what we needed. They activated us. They pushed us forward. They too were Christ's in our lives. And now we have to move forward. This is why we don't care if you video record. This is why we don't care if you're not interested in what we say. This is why it does not matter. But hear me clearly. When you see us doing the work and you have your nose, ain't nobody gonna do, that's okay. Because maybe we weren't sent to you. Oh, shit. I got to get off there. But what we were sent to do was to stop begging and scraping by when we know that what we have, when we know that it's already in the room. It's already what we need. The gift is already in the circle. Is it scary? Yes. Were our ancestors scared when they learned that emancipation had come? Heck yeah, you ain't gonna tell me they wasn't. Because they had been socialized by empire to not even believe they were people, to not even believe that there was a future beyond, but for those brave ones who did. For those brave ones who did, they took the linens with them out to the frontier, up to the north. Some even stayed down south. And they produced on the witness of empire and empty tomb. They produce what many of us now benefit from. It is our responsibility to stand in the power of the resurrection, to not be in awe of it, but to stand in it and to move in it and to move through it. Come together, children. Don't you get weary. It's a big meeting going on this date. Yes, Ronnie, do it scared. On this date, April 17th, 2022. Exchange this for your January 1st, 2022. Exchange it. The redemption we seek is the redemption in our collective. To be redeemed from not fully seeing one another, to be redeemed from not sharing the power, the room, the connect that we get. That's the redemption we seek. It is also the redemption of what we know we came here to do. Listen, now that you know it, the knowledge that you have, you're responsible for it. Ashe, yes, you are responsible for it. You know it now. You know it. And you are responsible for it. So I'm going to set this Zoom up for like a little 10 extra minutes, 15 maybe max. Because I want us to, we've shared a lot. We have shared a lot today. And we need to, really sit with, like, I'm talking to myself so much. It's stuff right here in my hand. It's stuff right here in my hand, y'all. It just needs me to activate it. And I want to admit to you that I'm scared. And the scary part really is, what if it go right? Or what if it doesn't go because the people, my God, I need your help today. Woo, mercy. Mercy. So I'm putting in here, transfiguration. Come on, Mel Chris. Come on, Levon. Yes, let's put it in there. Central Faith, the art of coming home to your body. Oh, that's a bestseller. I could tell that right now. That is a bestseller. Bestseller. That is a bestseller. So if you come over to Zoom real quick, I'm going to take you to Instagram and show you what's coming forward for us that I need your help on. Yeah, if you come over, I want you to see what we're doing. I just put the click right there. It won't be long. I just want to make a request from you, and not a monetary request, but a request that helps you see what we're doing and we're doing and how we're moving, right? So give me a sec to put this also in YouTube. Hey, y'all, give me a sec to put this in YouTube, and we will be... right there. Hold on. I see y'all in the waiting room. Just give me a second. I'm going to put y'all... I don't know, Antonia or Natasha, if you're still on. But if you are... give me a second. I'm going to put y'all... I don't know, Antonia or Natasha, if you're still on. But if you are, RG is in the room. Listen, not y'all. Oh, 22 of y'all. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Natasha, I see you came in. Good morning. Well, you... Oh, I got to end. Good morning. This is how hype I am. Bye, y'all. On Facebook, I got to end. See y'all.